Welcome to STL City Showdown. I'm AJ, and this is Steve, and we're talking about this game. Steve, what's our first game for this game?
Oh my God. Let's do 3 words. Let's just get this out of the way. But first, so we are STL City Showdown. Don't forget to find us on Blue Sky. We're on Reddit. We're on Facebook. We're on Discord. So we're on all these platforms. We're on YouTube, of course, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. So find us, leave us a like, comment. We promise that we won't try to set up some weird meet and greet that make you guys come out and hang out with us and try to get money off of it. So we're just here. And by the way, if you hear us and you're like, you guys sound crazy, you don't know what you're talking about. Why is this dude literally in a closet? Like, if you have things you want to discuss with us, you come on and you share your thoughts with us. We'd love to have you on as well. So, boy, how about this real quick? 3 words. So one of the games we like to play is we boil down the match to just 3 words, and then we discuss each word why we picked that word. So AJ, I'll let you go first. What was your first word?
Yeah, so usually when we play this game, we usually pick like some kind of verb or emotion, like sucky or something like that. This time I'm going to go a little different here. Yeah, stupid. This was stupid. Well, yeah, everybody's going to say this. I'm just going to pick players here. And not all bad players, but the first one I got to pick. Okay, so this was even before the goals and before people on like Reddit live were complaining. But I just saw on Watts, that's my word, right? Watts. Why is he in the defensive midfield with Hartl? And we learned through the first half of this season that we just don't win when Hartl is playing far back. Like, we need him up front trying to generate plays and stuff like that. And that's one thing that we struggle with, especially in the second half, by the way, is we just didn't have the shots. You had actually sent me the shots in the second half, and I wasn't really paying attention to the stats or anything. And I'm like looking at this, I'm like, wow, like it actually looks worse on paper than what I saw in the game, or maybe about the same, whatever. And I saw that. I'm just like, Watts, I don't get this fascination with Watts. Name me a time that, okay, fine, he scored, I think, 1 goal now. Okay, fine. He had one, like, highlight reel. But tell me a time when you're just like, oh, my gosh, Watts was the man on the field, and he changed the game. So I saw that right away, and then his play was sloppy. He was losing a ball. He was outmatched. And as we saw, they just tore through our defensive midfield. And Steve, we're lucky. We're absolutely lucky that this was not an 8-0 game or 8-2 game or whatever. It's not like it was a Cardinal game. Like, the Cardinal game was like 8-0, and I was like, holy crap, City might actually beat the Cardinals in their loss, if that makes sense. There was way too many chances. We just got lucky. What's your first word, man?
You know, I'm going to move these around because, real quick, I was at a drive-in, actually. Our dentist rented out the drive-through here in town, and we all got to go to that for free. So I couldn't watch the game, but I was listening to it. I was charging my car during the first half of the match, and the Y Night team said before the end of the first half that there should have been 10 goals scored between the 2 teams in that first half.
Absolutely.
Between Orlando just giving up easy shots and City missing a few, their goalie being fantastic, there should have been 10 shots. In fact, after we went down 2-0, you had commented, at the rate this is going, we're statistically going to lose like 18-0. And then like 2 minutes later, they freaking scored again. And so it's like, maybe it'll be that bad. So I think it's funny, like, you went that route, because one of my words is midfield. The fact that our midfield is just it's just nothing right now. You look at we got Durkin, Leuven, and now Ostrak and all out. And you got Hartl playing the defensive midfield all way back, not able to produce, not able to be that exciting player. And now we have Watson there in midfield. We're just getting destroyed. And I did see that Orlando is one of the top passing teams in the league. We're looking at they're in the top 4 for all categories in the league. And like, you can see that, like, Watts and Hartl that's not a winning midfield. So my first word was midfield, because like, I'm glad I didn't get a chance to watch it, because it would have been just awful to watch. But Yeah, that's just midfield. It's just like you can just tell we're just not that team. So I don't know where we go from here. When all of our players are hurt, I don't know. It's like one of those St. Louis City players and hamstring injuries. Name me a more dynamic duo. Like where do we even go from here?
So I'm trying to find the Blue Sky skeet or the tweet from Twitter or whatever. There was something along the lines of like the players hurt currently. It's like 32% of our payroll is hurt or something like that. Like 5 out of our 11 normal starters, whatever it was. It was ridiculous. Hopefully I can find it at some point. But that just kind of supports it. Like think about Ostrak, Leuven, Durkin, like some of our top midfielders that we would have put in those positions all hurt. Now, Morales, I just don't get why he didn't start, but yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, you just sent me.
Yeah. I just sent you the depth chart. So this is our depth chart. Yeah. And then you can see all our injured players. Yeah, we got 7 of our 35 that are out.
That's nuts.
That's not how you win.
It's definitely something that just happens, unfortunately, and it's tough, but we deal with it, you know? All right, so my second word for you. Okay, you ready for this? Okay, so a little happy feeling. You ready to get a little good vibes on you? I'm going to say Berkey, man. Berkey, Spider-Man, like he definitely single-handedly at least prevented a couple goals there. There was the one where it was like a 2-for-1 breakaway. I'm sorry, like the one thing about soccer is one attacker versus just the goalkeeper. The attacker is going to win most of the time because the net is just so big and it's just so hard to defend. You have to have teammates help you. But Berkey was able to break up against 2 players. And then there was another time he also stopped a couple scores that probably only he did, where maybe the average MLS goalkeeper wouldn't have saved. Now, if you look at FOTMOP, one of our favorite stats for this sometimes is the expected goals saved. Yeah, you had mentioned that last time. Now, in this case, though, it actually put him as a negative. So it said that he actually was a less good goalkeeper than he should have been. But the problem is what it doesn't factor in is stupid goals where, like, let's say the defense lets 2 guys through and just have an easy shot on goal. Mm-hmm. Or you get something like Watts who was like, let's just, let's bobble this pass and just let it go right to the guy at the top of our box for easy pass to the striker, and then boom, they score, right? It's not taking that into account because unfortunately it's a generated thing. But there's no doubt we were talking about 18-0. If it wasn't for Berkey, it would have been much closer to that, 100%.
Yeah, I totally agree because especially the first couple of those goals where you saw that dynamic ability of Orlando to pass and then shoot. And I think I remember messaging you like, I wish we could do that. Like, you can't defend that when your defenders are falling down, they're not in right position, and like you said, it's a giant goal, you're just a person. My word is shocked, as in the sarcastic version of shocked, where it's just, we can't be shocked that this team doesn't win anymore. And it's to the point where I have been predicting draws over losses the last couple weeks, and I don't know if I need to go back to predicting losses because nothing about this team. I guess shocks. I was shocked when Klaus scored 3 goals, but you did it against one of the worst goalkeepers in the league. We went up against one of the best goalkeepers in the league, and we got 2 goals. I wasn't shocked at all. And it's here we are recording. We're doing this because we love it, but it's just like this. It's so hard to get excited right now. I don't know, man. I would be shocked if we went on a winning streak. I'm not even saying the P word right now. There's no point in that. So that's my word, is shocked. What's your last word?
Yeah. So my last word is going to be Klaus, because man, this is going to be so tough, right? So he has 1 more year on his contract. When he first started during our inaugural season, he was definitely our striker. It looked great. And now, what do we do? Like, he's starting to turn on. Like, I'll say he actually looked pretty decent last night. Like, that goal was a good goal. He finished. Yeah. He did get a goal. Now, there was one where you're like, okay, he missed it, but it was difficult. It was almost like a one-timer pass. That's tough. It just is tough. But he still finished. and he's looking better. So the interesting thing is going to be what's going to happen, in the next few games. Is he going to continue to turn it on and then make us actually have to consider picking up his option, or is he going to regress to the typical Klaus? And the thing is the one thing I'll defend Klaus with is that no striker, no matter how good they are going to score goals if you don't have a midfield to deliver to them.
Right.
Now, we do have this big window coming up here in just a few weeks. If and only if we actually spend money and actually get to at least the league average of spending, maybe there might be something with Klaus. I don't know. Now, some people are going to argue, and I'm going to counter my own argument, is that Klaus has had opportunities and he just hasn't finished. But they've all been low percentage opportunities that were honestly tough. Like any striker was going to struggle with that. So who knows? What's your last word?
Just kind of commenting on what you had mentioned is that I did see that according to FOTMob, at the most touches on the field. And it seems that now that we're out of this ridiculous defensive-minded lineup from Olaf, and now we're going back to that City way, if you will, Klaus has more opportunities. Klaus is now scoring. Klaus is actually looking like that number 9 we need him to be. Now, are we going to pick up the option? I guess as you were talking, it's just like, I wonder what that option is. It all depends on how much and if he's willing to negotiate, what options he has, if he wants to go back home or whatever. But maybe he's having fun now and maybe this is getting better. So the fact that the big man has scored 4 times in 2 games, that's pretty positive moving forward. It's like you and I are copacetic right now, because as you're talking about your words are all bleeding into mine, because my last word is summer. Sure. And specifically that summer transfer window is, what are we going to do with that? Because Lutz, as he keeps, we gave him that first year because we were hot, we were a new team, expenses, all that jazz. He seemed to be pretty active last year, but now it's looking like those players we brought in, they probably weren't as high as profile as we could get. Now the team is really struggling. It seems that that P word is way out of the picture right now. Is this a team, I guess we have to relate this to baseball, is this team going to be buying or selling at this time? Are we going to be bringing in a lot of work for next year? And what is this really going to look like? You had said, I wonder if they're going to spend big money. I can't find the Blue Sky post now, but there was a comment that a player that City's being linked to right now is another mid-tier person. It's like, we can't keep doing this. Either that or this is just what the team's going to be. I wonder if this is their 3rd year, if we're going to know what the ownership team is really willing to spend coming out of July.
So let's have some fun with this, Steve, if you're cool with this.
I am cool.
Let's play this game, sporting director for a day.
Ugh.
And let's kind of think about this, and I'll just kind of start here, then hand it off to you. The realistic thing is the fans' answer is always just spend money, right? Yep. Just spend money, just buy everything, And my retort is always this: if it was that easy, then they probably would do it. If they could spend money and spend 10 million more than they did last year, or 15 million, and it guaranteed an MLS Cup and it guaranteed entrance into the big tournaments like the Club World Cup tournament or something, they would do it, especially for 15 million, maybe even 20 million, because they would get a great return of investment. It's not that easy. Every single club is looking for good deals and stuff like this. That's part of the construction. This isn't just soccer. This isn't just City. This is every sport, guys.
Yeah.
Right, Steve?
Yeah.
So the thing is I think you have to be realistic. And the other thing is sports isn't just, buying expensive players and just throw them out on a field. You have to actually link them together. What do you think, Steve? What would you...
Man. It's hard. You're right. It's easy to flash money at people. But again, you've got all these bigger teams in the league that are going to be courting the best players first, and it's going to kind of trickle down. And unless the teams are willing to throw just an ungodly amount over at one person, which I would think most people in the Midwest would not even be on board with that anyway. It's going to be hard to get the absolute best talent. So I wish we had a coach. If we had a coach, we would know what to build around, but we don't, because we built around an interim coach last year. Then we brought in a coach that really didn't work, and now we're building around another interim coach. So I guess we're just going to continue to do this. There's no simple answer, is there? Nope. But I guess the answer is we have a game coming up on Saturday, and we're going to get to see if this team can beat Houston, which is also in the dumps. Houston is also in the bottom of the West, and they're just barely above us. So I guess we got another shot to do this again.
Yeah. So Steve, I think a lot of people are asking this question, like, why are we still watching these games? What would you say to those people?
That soccer's still fun to watch. And it's fun to complain about things and offer ideas on how to fix it. Like, even when the team is bad, it's still fun to watch. I'm 44 years old, going on 45 in a couple of months. And I kept saying I never got to experience this as a youth, as one of the youths. And I would love to be able to go downtown as a 20-year-old and watch a game in a bar or at the stadium. I would love to do that. And the fact that we get to just still fills my heart with excitement each week. I think that's why, because the team isn't non-compelling yet. I think that's a good thing too. Even though we're almost in dead last, it doesn't really seem like there's a ton of exciting news coming out each week. The team is still fun to watch. We still got those interesting players that make it fun to watch. We're not a corporate machine type. We're not watching the Oakland Athletics play baseball. That's what we're not. So,
excellent point.
It's still fun to watch is all. Like, as sad as it is, the team still has a chance to win each week, correct?
Sure.
We went down 3-0, and the team quickly scored 2 goals, and we just got outclassed as the game went on. But like when the first 45 was over, I bet all 22,000 or so that were in that stadium were a little optimistic going into the second half. They didn't know what was about to happen, but they were probably optimistic going into that second half, and that's exciting to know. What about you? Why do you keep watching this nonsense, this soccer?
Yeah, man. The thing is, like you said, soccer is fun to watch. The other thing is I guess I'm a little bit of that homer where I kind of continue to support the team. And as long as I think they're trying, I still give them credit. Now, a lot of fans, instantly, you just lose one game, fans lose their mind. They're like, oh, they don't care about the team. We'll see, right? Like, there's more to this than meets the eye. I mean, like, they're literally considering a 19-year-old, I think they said $4 to $5 million a year for a 19-year-old. Now, apparently this team, if you go to the rankings, this team that they're recruiting him from is ranked higher than all of the German second league teams. So technically he would be coming from and starting on a team better than like a team Teutschert came from and stuff like that. So he may be pretty legit, and he's 19 years old. So if we get him for some amount of time, that's something you definitely build around.
And he's part of that U22 rosters. They're part of the U22 rosters, which helps with our DP and our cash flow too, which is good. Awesome.
Yeah, good, excellent point.
Is that Frederick? Who's this cat? All right.
It's on Reddit for sure. It's Mikael Guru.
Okay.
I don't know how to say it. Obviously, all these names. Yeah, it starts with G, man. That's all I know. So, but, this is something that could have potential high upside and, hopefully make some splashes. Hopefully this is not the big splash, but, hopefully it's one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and it's just fun. It's fun doing stuff like this. And the thing is, too, is once we do the summer transfer window, kind of like last year, you kind of get a preview. Because when we're like, imagine baseball and like your team lands a big player, you basically have to sit for like 2 or 3 months waiting, twiddling your thumbs before you actually get to see that player play. The one bonus, and probably the only bonus about how the summer transfer window is here, at least we get the last, quarter of the season to actually kind of watch our new players and see cool. Like what they're potentially about. So you get to actually be a little excited. No, I still don't like how the transfer window is, and I kind of prefer more of the European schedule from a competitive standpoint, but that's a different topic.
Yeah, that's looking at next year with the World Cup. After the World Cup, that's when they're discussing possible schedule change. So hopefully that'll be really neat to be on the same schedule, you know?
Yeah, it kind of makes you feel like you're, I don't know, with the rest of the world. It's, yeah. So, Steve, any final thoughts about this game or maybe even the upcoming game?
No, I'm going to have to look to see what's going on with Houston. I know they have 20 points and we're stuck at 15. So, like, they're 2 places out of the playoff spots right now. So, like, yeah, I think I saw it too. If we win, we can climb up 2 spots. So, like, based on where we are, we can climb up 2 spots. So, we just got to go get a W. A W will be so fun. That's it. I mean, it'll be exciting to be able to watch soccer on Saturday. How about that?
I'll take it.
I don't mind midweek games. I don't mind midweek games, especially when we didn't play the week before. So, like, yeah, I don't mind them.
Honestly, I would rather have midweek games than games that are constantly going through like international breaks, because it's just not fair that, especially a good team that's kind of kicking and, you know, firing on all cylinders, have to go without good players. That's not fair. So I would rather do this than this crap that we've done before. So especially when they put the like Leagues Cup and stuff like that on Wednesday, much better format.
Right.
Much better.
Agreed. Well,
so
you know what, guys, thank you for sticking in there with us. I guess it's time to let's ship this out. All right, so
yeah,
go ahead and look around, get the kids out of the way, go and find a squirrel.
Okay.
Boot a squirrel. Stand on top of your chair, look at your fist and go, and say, "All for City, baby!"
All for City.
All right.